Hey, I'm Ryan Dorman. This is part 2 with the great coach Steve Coleman here. Man, you went viral, so we're going to do a part 2, and I think we need to discuss, because some of these players that played for you said you were the best coach they ever played for. So instead of talking about all the superstars, we're going to talk about the real superstars that played some of the most exciting games you've ever coached, because they're more exciting than the NBA, right? I mean, some of these games when you get some players. So let's go back in time to some of your great players. Who are some of the great players you played for? I mean, played for you.
Played for me here at the Hasten Hebrew Academy. The first two names that come to my head, and this is rightfully so, is Kosene and Danny Ekhaus. In any order you want to put that in. For the simple reason, look, we were underdogs everywhere we went. And it was Jake and Danny's first year of me coaching them, and I think it was 5th or 6th grade. We didn't have very many kids coming to the game, but what these guys did was open the door, and we had people in the stands everywhere, because I guess it was a fluke that people thought, you know, oh, they might not win the game because we're Jewish kids, we're short, we can't do nothing. Well, I'll tell you, here's a story for you. We went out here to play this Greenwood Christians team. We got there late, so we only had about a couple of minutes they gave us to warm up. And they said, this is all you can give us. And I said, okay, we're fine. So we got out there, we go in the locker room, get the stuff on, we come right back out. They telling us, hey, hurry up, we got to get going. So we go out there. The first thing you know, when that tip-up went off, man, we're in the hole 14-0. I mean, it didn't get too much better than that, and this was still in the first quarter. So they running us crazy. So I called a couple of timeouts to get their head together, and I told Jake, Danny McCassin, David Katz, and this
Farrahan. This is his name. Mikey was on that team?
No, Mikey wasn't on this team.
Okay.
But we'll get to Mikey.
All right.
But A.L. Farrahan was on this team.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so he was there. He's a good shooter. So what happened was, we come out, get our heads together. I had to say a few words in that locker room. When we came out of there, I tell you, it was a brand new game. And you got to understand, we're down 12 to 14 points right now. When we came out to play, they didn't score another bucket until the fourth quarter. I looked up and turned around, and I looked at the clock, and the score now is 24 to 14. They still right where we left it. You know,
wow.
Jake had a great, and when I say that, he had a great shooting night. That was only in one game. But the surprising fact was, Danny Ekhaus, if it was recorded, he had about 12 steals that game. Now, people can say, oh, look at what you're playing. You got to understand, we're playing Orchard, Oaks Academy, Sycamore, a school down here off of 34th Street that had a great team. We played them. We played out here at Kingsway. We played Traders Point. But I'm telling you, this is no B team. We're playing all of their A teams. Now, that year, we only lost one game, just one. And I'm gonna tell you something, it was a heck of a ride. We played in the tournament, and we lost to Orchard over there, and they had kids that was already 6'4", maybe, like Zach McAdams. That's the kid that I can remember clearly right here. Yeah. You know, so they had guys like that. And now, I mean, you look at the school now, I mean, we still had players that come after them, but those two were the two greatest players that come out of here.
Okay.
And to me, Kosene could have played college basketball.
Yeah.
Division I. If that kid that played at Carmel, I can't think of his name, if he did it, Jake could have. Jake, if he'd have worked the way that he should, listened to his dad more, you would have heard good things about Jake on that basketball court. Yeah.
And can you share with us, like, some other Maccabee teams at the JCC or whatever that, I mean, you had some traveling teams, you had varsity, JV, anybody, Matt Morris, like Michael Mitzman.
Hey,
I mean,
you know, that's a whole different era. Because if I would have had Morris over here and Mitzman over here playing, I'm telling you, it would have been off the chart. Mike Mitzman, I don't know what he's doing now. I used to see Matt Morris every once in a while, but I'm gonna tell you something. Went through a little transition they did over there at the JCC, and the coach they brought in over me to take my place didn't really get the best out of those two kids.
Yeah.
Well, they called me back in, and I took it back over, and boom, we started winning. We started beating people, and that's the way it was. But I'm gonna tell you, Matt was another great player. I mean, you know, when you look at that, I wish I could have had him on the Maccabee team. Michael Mitzman, I wish I could have had him. Them guys was big difference maker. They knew the role, knew they could play, and knew just what to do. And his little brother,
Michael Mitzman.
His little brother, you know, was a good player. You know, so it just went on and on like that. So, you know.
What other coaching philosophy do you have, like, to be a great coach?
You know, it's not being a great coach. What it is respecting and understanding the talent that you have around you.
Yeah.
You know, the cards that you dealt is the ones you got to play with, and that's what I do. And you know, you can't belittle a kid behind mistakes. You got to build him up.
Right.
So we're trying to win games.
Right.
We're not trying to tear nobody down.
And some of these coaches I noticed, like, they're real hotheads, and they're just like they're on the refs all the time. You never did that. You just made a good, peaceful environment, and you know, let the kids play.
Well, I did do that. Oh. But if you talk to Ben Glazier, we were playing out there at Traders Point. We're down. Ben is pointing to Ari Cohen and a couple other kids, and you know, telling them, hey, look. And I told Ben, I had to yell it out, no, that's your job. Well, we go in the locker room, halftime. I really dressed Ben himself, what he had to do, because I'm going to tell you, Ben was a good player. To me, he never got the just due he deserved at university. But anyway, he came out. That second half, man, was just beautiful. The kid can shoot from deep, but he could pass that ball, and he can handle the ball. Once he figured out, after I had to say some words, once he figured it out, we went out there and we just tried to point apart. They couldn't believe it.
Wow.
But there it was, you know.
Yeah.
But we can name, you know, guys like Mikey Fairhand. I mean, he was a great rebounder.
Yeah.
He was power in the inside.
Right.
You know, you got Ari Cohen, which was a great player, and his uncle, two uncles actually. Israel Hasten wasn't a bad player, but his brother was a real good shooter and a great player. You know, and he was only this tall. He didn't grow until after that.
What's the most memorable buzzer beater you've seen? Like, if you ever saw a last-second shot, do you remember anything that, you know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it fly? And
here's one. Like I said, the year that it was, go back to Jake and Danny again. We were playing Sycamore. They waved off a three-pointer by Danny Ekhaus. They waved it off. Yeah, you got to understand, he just nailed 3 threes in a row.
Yeah.
We were down. They waved off the fourth one that would have took us up. But here's what happened. We got a timeout. Jake and Danny was already planning that I'm going to get you the ball, Jay. Danny takes the ball out, swings it over to Jay. Jake puts the ball up. Oh, he's a great shooter, man. Puts the ball up. Didn't hit rim, nothing but net.
Wow.
And it was like, that's the way it was, a wow.
Yeah.
And it was a great moment because that helped our season. And we didn't have a close game with that again until later on. You know, but after we hit that one, I'm going to tell you, that was history in the making right there.
Yeah.
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 Well, thank you for
Actually,
sharing
we
that.
made the paper too that year.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. And any other thing you want to share? Or
well,
we got
as I'm just sitting here thinking,
memories.
man, just thinking about all the kids, you know, that came through here. Marty Wise, Ed, his sister Reva, Maria, Stacy. She started on our team with Jacob and them. Danny McCassin, I said A.L. Fairhand, but it goes deeper than that. John, I mean, it took, I can't remember all the kids right now.
Yeah.
But it took them all. And what I'm trying to remember right now is about Israel Yodatar Hasten.
Yeah. Yo. Used to call him Yo.
He was something else for a kid. For size, and the way he shot,
wow.
the way he played, he was a tough
yeah.
player. Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up here. So we'll just
St. Richard's.
St. Richard's.
That was the school. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some
yeah.
great memories.
Yeah.
And wish you many more memories of good games, and hopefully you'll get those players and just coach them and develop them to have that, you know, that skill. Or is it talent or practice?
Well, you know what it is building the kids to become good young men.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing here over the Hasten Hebrew Academy.
Yeah.
We build, I say good, but great young men.
Okay.
And you know, I don't do a bunch of scream, holler, kicking, but I feel like it sometimes.
Yeah.
But these guys here, they know what they can do together.
Yeah.
And you know, that's something about the Jewish people you gotta always remember. For some reason, when the time is tough, they band together and they come together as one. I mean, you look back at David and Goliath. Well, we're David every time we hit the floor.
Wow.
Every time we hit the floor, we're David.
Wow.
And let me say this: we played Heritage Christian one time. This is with Ben Glazer. We played Heritage Christian one time. Didn't play us no more after that. They looking down at us, they're laughing at us, everything's going on. They keep looking and laughing. Look at those guys, look at those guys. Because I can hear them.
Yeah.
They had a legendary coach, played at Washington, played at Indiana State. And when he asked me at halftime, he said, man, where did you get these kids? I said, these kids go right here. All of them.
Yeah.
We beat them.
Wow.
They were down
wow.
22-0 before halftime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
So it was great.
Yeah, some big wins. And
yes.
Well, it's just a good experience, a good overall thing, you know, improving kids' game and winning
life
games.
Experience.
Good life experience,
yes.
memories. I mean, people are still talking. So yeah, we'll share this with everybody, and hopefully you'll bring back some memories. Maybe you'll have an old timers game, a little reunion game, if they ever want to come back and visit.
I would love to have that, because I heard Danny has won the 3-point shootout up at IU 2 years in running.
Wow.
The kids could play.
Yeah.
The kids could play. They really could. Yeah.
Well, all right, we'll wrap this up here, and thank you for sharing part 2. And we'll post this and let people know what's going on and what's all the history that's going on here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.